myself, I'm not just gonna stand here and wait. I wanna just decide what is to be my fate. Alone all by myself, I'm not just gonna stay here and wait.
Good morning, everybody. I am the monotone voice, Jim Finch, and we're talking to you right here on Really Cool News. It is a wonderful day, 91 degrees here in central Pennsylvania today, so I'm not going outside. My air conditioner is barely putting out any cold air right now, and it's wonderful. I'm reading feedback comments, and one guy is asking me, why is the news so old? And it's a new comment on something posted back on June 7th. Anyone want to tell him, that that was from June 7th, dude, not today. Today's news has a bunch of stuff in it, and we're going to go live in a second. It's a fairly short one today, about 10 minutes. You're going to hear about Karen Regan Benson going insane at the Inglewood City Council meeting. Chili DeCastro was set for court today. There's no updates as of yet, but this will tell you all that's going on about that. And, of course, DMA had a surprise last night. Yes, a surprise, and that's all I'll say. So with that, we're going to jump into the news. And then, remember, tonight, there's nothing. No Thursday on a Tuesday tonight. Because we're going to do Thursday on a Wednesday, tomorrow night. Because due to the holiday, there is no Karen Reed murder trial coverage tomorrow. So you'll have this newscast, and then you'll have our Thursday on a Wednesday panel show tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. where it counts, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. on the West Coast. So we're going to have some fun tomorrow night. And that is mandatory. You will have the fun. You will. Anyway, stick around for the news. After the news, we'll have some closing comments. And then we do have a very special post-credit scene today. And if you can catch the comment about Pope Phil, then you're better than most people. And the holiday is Juneteenth, Mrs. Tom. It's a federal holiday as of a couple of years ago. So anyway, let's pop into the news, and we'll be out of here soon enough. DMA Wednesday and GoFundMe race. Christopher Denver Metro Audits Cordova sidestepped Regan Benson's spectacular performance at the Inglewood City Council meeting Monday night to live stream from his home, and it ultimately may have given him the Monday GoFundMe crown. Wait, what? The fund hadn't had a donation in over a month, and it was considered almost as dead as Press with Rancor's ridiculous campaign. It would get big donations here and there, but at no point was it seriously active, nor was there a sign that it would break the $1,000 point, let alone the $20,000 it was seeking. Is this some sort of gag? Cordova won the day by taking in $55 to defend DMA in the fight against corruption and Oath Breakers Fund from 3 donations that came in right around the time of his live stream from his home Monday night. The YouTuber bypassed his normal appearance with Regan and Benson at the Inglewood City Council meeting. Cordova has a long history of appearing with Benson there and is known for talking about his belief that pornography should be allowed to be accessed on computers at the Inglewood Public Library in full view of the public. Other frequent topics that he normally gets into at the City Council meetings include his ongoing war with City Council members Steve Ward and Joe Anderson. Cordova has been at odds with the men and called them out publicly since they appeared on the Frauditor Troll YouTube channel to discuss his antics some time ago. Cordova has also been threatening to spearhead a recall campaign for Ward's City Council seat, which was supposed to start in early June but has yet to materialize. It is unclear how Cordova, a non-resident of the city, would be able to proceed with his plans for the recall. The YouTuber spent the evening at home, streaming to his audience about mental health and other issues. No explanation was given for his failure to appear with Benson in Inglewood in the brief minutes we had to review his video before he removed it from public view. Cordova launched his GoFundMe campaign in early spring of this year in order to help him with the cost of his ongoing federal and local criminal charges. It has never been very active and had gone over a month without a donation, so the activity is unusual for this campaign, perhaps proving that he'd have more success by continuing the pattern and ditching Regan Benson altogether. De Castro due in court today. Jose Chili de Castro is set to appear in California court today as part of the latest hearing in his lawsuit against Kate Peter, Team Skeptic, Daniel Clement, and Michael Blue Bacon Paratini. The YouTuber is expected to miss his fourth or fifth hearing in a row today, as he is incarcerated in the Clark County, Nevada Detention Center and apparently has not attempted to attend the hearings, resulting in a string of losses in rulings in the lawsuit. Today's hearing, according to the declaration of Paratini's attorney, will see a substitute attorney fill that attorney's role as he is involved in a federal trial at the scheduled time and date of the hearing. The declaration indicates that the attorney had not received any discovery from De Castro since De Castro was ordered to provide discovery. He has also not received any communication from De Castro nor payment of the previous monetary sanctions owed to Paratini and his lawyer from previous rulings. The attorney claims that he has no idea where De Castro is or why he's ignoring the case. While it's widely known that De Castro has been incarcerated in the Clark County Detention Center for over 2 months, De Castro himself has not updated the court as to his whereabouts, as he is required to do so. Because of this, the attorney is asking for a new round of sanctions against De Castro in the form of $4,560 in sanctions, as De Castro has not attempted to schedule the deposition he was ordered to sit for in previous rulings. The attorney is also asking the judge in the case to order De Castro to sit for the deposition within the next 30 days. The attorney also asked for the court to set up an order to show cause, since De Castro has been ignoring the case and has run up the attorney's fees for Paratini because of it. De Castro filed suit in early 2023, as his previous lawsuit in federal court against Kate Peter and others had morphed from a harassment and defamation-based lawsuit into a copyright lawsuit against Peter and her co-defendants in YouTube Google itself. After revising the lawsuit, he filed the current lawsuit in California's Superior Court to go after Peter and individuals he claimed to be part of the masshole troll mafia, including Paratini, Skeptic, Clement, and a number of John Doe defendants. In the year and a half the lawsuit has been active, De Castro has failed to state what actions he is holding Paratini responsible for, as Paratini is the only active defendant in the case, and apparently has been unwilling to cooperate with any action that would result in moving the lawsuit forward. A ruling by Judge H.J. Ford III is expected in the case later today. De Castro may have gotten some good news on Tuesday, as a new listing for De Castro's upcoming trial in the city of Las Vegas for obstructing an officer seemed to have been moved till August. The YouTuber was originally due in court next week for a pre-trial hearing in the case. The new listing seems to indicate that the hearing has been continued until August 13th at 1:30 p.m. local time. We will continue to monitor De Castro's court records and update them as we receive new information. Benson melts down in Inglewood. Again! YouTube enthusiast and sometime advocate for the homeless Regan Benson returned to the Inglewood Civic Center on Monday night in order to confront the council over her alleged mistreatment at the hands of emergency dispatchers. Benson was not scheduled to speak in advance for the public feedback portion of the event and was without sidekick Christopher Denver Metro Audits Cordova Monday night as she entered the facility. She briefly observed the 6 Inglewood police officers who were on hand to deal with an ongoing, undisclosed threat at the meeting, before focusing focusing her attention on a man named Chris, who Benson claimed had been in a fight with a homeless individual Saturday night. In both Benson's version of the story and the story that Chris would later share in his remarks during the public feedback session, he arrived at a local Walmart Saturday night and heard screaming from people engaged with the homeless man who was having some sort of meltdown. He yelled at the man, who then ran over to him and hit him in the face multiple times before he could exit his vehicle. Chris then got out of his car and knocked the man unconscious, ending the threat until an ambulance arrived to take the man away. Police refused to press charges against the man at the hospital, where Benson claimed the man assaulted various workers and let him go later that night without helping the man, who was in obvious mental distress. While in the hospital, Benson said she ran into the elderly black man who she had helped earlier on Saturday after he suffered a heat stroke. She claimed he had suffered a head injury and could have died on the scene since Inglewood emergency dispatchers gave her the runaround. The story continued as Benson made her own comments to the Inglewood City Council. In her new version of the story, Benson claimed that the emergency dispatchers were conspiring against her and refusing to get her help because she favored a Canadian frauded or troll, who was able to convince them to press charges against her with a single phone call. The man she was helping on Saturday would have died not because she had refused to share pertinent information with the dispatchers, as she stated on her Saturday live stream, but because they were biased against her and refused to send an emergency vehicle to help the man because of that bias. The incident in which Benson was charged with harassment and resulted in her temporary ban from the Inglewood Library was now an innocent interaction on her part. The security guard had personally harassed her for 30 minutes over the use of the bathroom, denying her urgency, and she simply reacted to the harassment by following him around for 30 minutes, hurling insults at him, and telling him to quit his job. Benson's bizarre behavior continued as she decided to leave the meeting and walked up to Inglewood Police Chief Sam Watson, who was sitting at the rear of the room listening to the meeting. The YouTuber started to confront him when he shushed her and indicated that he was watching the meeting. This was apparently classified as starting shit with Benson, and she decided to stand there filming him for another 30 minutes while insulting him to her live stream side chat before leaving the building. Benson complained about her safety as she exited the city council meeting room, and an allied security officer escorted her to her car. During the walk, Benson encouraged the man just to leave his post as it was late, and complained loudly about Watson to the guard. The livestream ended abruptly as Benson declared she had a better offer and had to leave immediately, ending another bizarre night in Inglewood. Flashback, June 18th, 2023. DeCastro turns traffic stop into trifold commercial. Jose Chili DeCastro livestreamed from a traffic stop in the Las Vegas, Nevada area Saturday night. DeCastro, 48, walked up to the scene, briefly said hello to the driver that was pulled over, then approached the police officer conducting the stop and politely explained that he was a First Amendment auditor and that he would be filming and not interfering in the traffic stop. The auditor returned to a safe distance from the stopped vehicle to record when he noticed a police officer preparing to write a citation on his own car, which was illegally parked facing the wrong direction on the wrong side of the street. DeCastro calmly asked if he could move his car before receiving the citation. The officer replied in the affirmative, and DeCastro moved his car before returning to the scene. As DeCastro returned to the initial traffic stop, the police officer approached the driver with citation and left the scene. DeCastro approached the driver, an African-American middle-aged man, and the driver explained that he had been pulled over for expired license plates. The YouTuber then checked the car's license plates and confirmed that yes, they were a month out of date. Never missing an opportunity to promote his trifold, DeCastro handed the man a copy of his indestructible trifold and made the man practice the touchdown position on camera before ending the stream. And that's it for tonight, folks. Again, there's no Thursday on a Tuesday tonight because we're doing Thursday on a Wednesday tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Again, there's also no Karen Reed murder trial coverage due to the Juneteenth holiday tomorrow, so we will be starting our coverage again on Thursday at 8:55 a.m. With the full day of testimony. It looks like there's just 2 more days, supposedly, of the prosecution testimony. There may be a day or more, but we're not sure. There's going to be a full day on Thursday and a half day on Friday this week. The defense is expected to get the case sometime next week, and I'm expecting deliberations to come the week after or by the end of next week. This could possibly be going to the jury sooner than we think, especially if there's a disqualification of the expert witnesses that they tried to put on this morning. Or try to get approved this morning. Again, thanks for being here. We're going to go to closing credits and be sure to look for our very, very special post-credit scene with information about Pope Phil that nobody in the world knows.